Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and pleased to be, it's Debsy. That's me, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Thursday. I hope everybody is having a great week. Woo! Seriously. Okay, I'm sorry, that was a snort. I really thought that I saw I saw a spider crawling up right here. That's why I was like, okay, let's start over. So, as you can tell, I did just take a shower and my face is all red. So just don't look at this. Don't look at this. Don't look at any of this. Just listen to this. So here we go. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day. It is Thursday. So that means, listen, I decided in the past me decided to just pick random days to take the day off. So I have tomorrow off. We also have Monday off, but I was like, they were like, we need people to work and you'll get paid extra. So I was like, I will take it off so that, other people can, if they want to go out and do something to commemorate MLK Jr. Day, then they can. So I was like, yeah, I will do it. So, but I do have tomorrow off. Now, also, I want to just let you know, you might be like, Deb, we didn't get a video from you. We didn't get a video from you yesterday. I recorded my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap and rant, and I really thought it was up. And then I went and looked at it, and it was like, you got no views. And this was 22 hours ago. And I was like, 22 hours? What's going on? Let me look at this. And it was private. So it was private the whole time. So the only person that could watch it was me. And why would I want to? Because I recorded it. So it's up. So now I'm going to talk about last night's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And then either like probably tomorrow, I will finish watching Real Housewives of New York City. And I will make my notes and I will make the video. So let's get to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This was the finale. That, I'm going to tell you, the editors and the producers on this show I feel like they're the best editors of any of the Real Housewives franchises. They always have the best. Like this, the opening was chef's kiss. I loved it. So, okay, they're still in, where are they? Puerto Vallarta? They're still in Puerto Vallarta. And I at first, when they showed Meredith sitting at the table, I thought she had like a squirrel on her head, like an animal or a squirrel just lounging on her part of her face. But as it turns out, she scratched her cornea. I don't know how she scratched the cornea, but I mean, it's not a black eye, so I don't know. I don't know how she scratched it. So she was talking to she's talking to Heather, and Heather is planning like a tribute lunch. And I'm like, what the fuck is a tribute lunch? So she's planning a lunch where all the ladies are going to go out to lunch, and they're all going to dress up like Lisa, because Lisa doesn't like a theme. But if there's one theme that Lisa loves is, oh God, this hair. The one thing that Lisa loves most in the world, other than probably like Diet Coke and Wendy's, is Lisa. Lisa Barlow loves her some Lisa Barlow. And that's great. You do need to love yourself. But anyways, that's the theme. So it's a tribute lunch. They're all going to dress up like Lisa Barlow. And they're going to have like a Lisa Barlow contest to see who best exemplifies, and embraces that Lisa Barlow aura or whatever. So they get together, and I'm going to tell you, everybody that had to wait on that table or interact with them as employees of that restaurant, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I apologize. From America, I apologize. So they have this little like, who can do the best Lisa Barlow? Heather's is good, Bronwyn's is good, and then Whitney gets up and she gets up, she's walking along, and then she has the tag on, she still has the tag on her top, and she's like, well, I'm gonna have to return this. I'm trying to be to the what is it? The confessional. She's like, I don't want to dress up like Lisa, but if I have to, I'm gonna be the fakest. I'm gonna be the fakest Lisa I can be. And she was like, what did she say? Hold up a second. Yeah, she says, I'm gonna be the biggest fake because you're fake. She's like, what's fake about me? She's like, well, you don't make connections and you make friends, but once you've used them and there's nothing more for you to get from them, then you just let them be. You just leave them in the dust. You're no longer friends. And they're screaming and there's F-bombs. There's children. There was like that little girl who had to get earmuffed by her dad. And come on. I mean, listen. So amongst all of this, here comes Brittany. Here comes Brittany. Brittany's has to be sticking up for Lisa, saying, I've not known you for that long, but you've been very loyal to me and you've watched out for me. Ugh, man. And so everybody then gets in on Brittany, and Mary gets in on her, and isn't Brittany like, well, everybody got on me for recording, but you don't know what, nobody got on Mary for doing the same thing. Mary was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you were recording out the window. So everybody's getting into it. Then here comes Meredith. Because Meredith doesn't have anything this episode, much like most of the season. Meredith then has to get into Brittany about talking about how Brittany's telling people how she has an eating disorder. She wasn't telling anybody she has an eating disorder. She wasn't doing that. She was just like, I heard her throwing up. And it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of that planted listening device, that bug that wasn't there. So she didn't say any of that. That's just Meredith's way of inserting herself and making herself relevant. Because literally all she had this season was the bat mitzvah, and that's it. So everybody's yelling at Brittany. Brittany's like, forget this, screw this, I'm out. And she runs away crying. So Angie gets up and goes and talks to her, just because I think that's how Angie is. I think maybe Angie is just a very caring person. If somebody's crying, then she might be like, you know what, let me go see how she's doing. Because even in the van, even though she was the one who did bring up the fact that she was, that Brittany was recording, she was also a person that was like, maybe we went a little too hard on her. So she left. And when she left, that was like, Mary was kind of like, well, why is she leaving? I mean, why is she running after someone who just attacked me, who just got on me? Why is she doing this? So when I said last week that it looks like maybe Angie and Mary, maybe there's some trouble in their friendship. This is where it starts. Okay, so there's the last night. The last night in Puerto Vallarta, Lisa organized this dinner. They get there. The tablescape is absolutely beautiful. So they're sitting there, and listen. And didn't Whitney order? What did Whitney order? Didn't Whitney order a pepperoni pizza? Who goes to Puerto Vallarta and you're gonna order a pepperoni pizza? Who's doing that? Whitney. So Angie then offers Mary some of her food, and Mary just ignores her. She's like, would you like a taste of this, Mary? She totally ignores her. And she's like, what is going on here? You're silent with me. You're not talking. And that's when Mary was like, she let her know she's mad. She's mad because she ran after Brittany. And Mary says, and you could tell that this is getting Angie very upset. And she's like, we've become friends, and you said that God like led you to this friendship. And she was like, I think, no, I can be wrong, and I'm wrong about you. In that moment, honestly, I was absolutely praying to Jesus, baby Jesus, Mary and Joseph, that he would save this friendship. Because seriously, out of all of the friendships that have occurred on any of these Real Housewives shows, this is the one that I feel is the most genuine. The absolute most genuine is Mary and Angie K. And if that, no. If that was going to go down in flames, then fuck it. No, forget it. No. But Angie, so they come back from break. And I was thinking, wait, this is petty. Mary, you can't be doing this. You can't be throwing away this awesome friendship with Angie over that. That's kind of petty. I mean, she didn't tell your secret. She didn't tell what's going on with Robert Jr. Please don't break the friendship over this. And then when Angie K started crying and telling her about how much she loves her and how much like this friendship has meant to her and how much it's changed her, it honestly, and then Mary, and then they held hands, and Mary explained that her parents abandoned her. Like, her father abandoned her and basically told her, I don't like you, and totally just walked away from her. And then her mother, who was her best friend, had left her, had abandoned her. So she is always leading her life with abandonment issues. So she's always like, in her mind, she's kind of thinking, well, it's better to push somebody away than them just leave, So, and Angie was like, I have the same issues. I feel abandoned by my mom. And it was so beautiful. And then they made up. And I'm going to tell you, if you were watching that and that didn't bring even just a little tear to your eye, then I don't know, you might be a robot. Like, you may be a robot with a heart of stone, because they made up, and you could tell, you could just tell. It's like, Angie was like, I love you. And Mary was like, every time I talk to you, I want to tell you that I love you, but I can't. And it was just so beautiful and genuine and heartfelt, and just like, you can tell that they're just genuine friends. Even afterwards, Heather was like, I'm so glad that you guys made up. And I can tell that speaking of Angie, I can tell that she is really your friend. Yeah, you can absolutely tell this isn't just a friendship that was fabricated for a show, for ratings, for viewers. It's real. Oh my gosh. I was so happy that they came back with their friendship. So this all went super well. Everything, people were feeling good. So leave it to Meredith to come in. Meredith then has to bring up Whitney and this Alibaba claim. So Meredith had said, as it turns out, the blogger, who we all know is Adam from Up and Adam, she said he called. She didn't say Adam. She just said the vlogger had called me and had told me that Whitney reached out to him because she was thinking hey, Lisa's behind this. I need to fix that. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. No, that's okay. Okay. So Whitney had an idea and thought, I think Lisa's behind it. Called him and was like, I need you to find out if she's behind this. And he told Meredith, listen, I had never gave her any proof that she's behind it. And then Whitney goes and twists my words to say that I said that Lisa was behind it. And Whitney's like, well, there's proof because there's a phone call. Well, on one of his videos, Adam at Up and Adam had said that he did call her. However, it was something to do with Monica, and the phone call was edited to make it look like he said that yes, Lisa is behind this, when he really didn't. And then Whitney gets into, well, you to Lisa, will you feed all this information to Reality Von Teese? And she's like, I never did, and I have not, and I haven't. And they were like, well, how do you know? Like, I think it was it Heather that said it? Somebody said, well, how do you know this? And how does she know this? She knows this because she was talking to Monica. And as soon as she says, well, I reached out to Monica, I was like, oh shit. Listen, Heather Gay is going to pick up this table and throw it at you. She's going to pick up her chair. She's going to smash it over your head. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to be good. But listen, Heather called it. Heather was like, she is desperate. She is so desperate to find out this information that she had to go to the one person that has no credibility whatsoever in this group. And Whitney was like, I was desperate. I was backed into a corner and I had to find help somewhere. So it was Monica. And Mary backed her up because she's like, listen, you two, you're not the friendliest. So, okay, here we go. So I was really thinking that Heather was going to be like really, really pissed. Heather, in fact, was not. Heather Gay delivered her second annual finale monologue. Okay? Last year's finale monologue was iconic. I mean, we still use receipts, photos, timelines, everything. We all say it. Receipts, screenshots, timeline, everything. It's iconic. It will live in Real Housewives infamy. So this year, for the second annual Heather Gay monologue, finale monologue, she basically just said that, listen, we all made fun of Monica. Remember Monica at the reunion? She brought this big burn book. It was around the time the Mean Girls musical was coming out. She brought this replica of the Mean Girls of Regina George's the Plastics burn book. And when she opened up, I was like, oh my God, what kind of tea is shit? It wasn't. It was like arts and crafts, and it wasn't anything at all. But she's like, listen, we made fun of Monica's burn book, but we do the same thing. We have our own burn book in each of our phones. So we're just as bad. Like everybody outside of this group tears us apart for maybe being we'll call us terrible mothers, or or try and ruin our businesses, or call us ugly. The whole world tears us apart. We shouldn't be tearing each other apart, which, okay, yes, that's true. And then she comes up with this idea. She comes up with the idea that what we're going to do is each of us are going to go on our phone. We're going to find the worst thing that we said about someone at this table. We're going to give the phone to that person that you said it about, and that person is going to read it. And then we're going to burn that bridge, and it's going to be in the past. We're going to let it lie in the past. It sounds wonderful. It sounds like it sounds, it's ambitious. Okay. She's dreaming of a world in which they can let go of all of this. Heather, you have been on, this is your 5th season. You know how this works. You know that this is not going to be bridges burned. This is going to be bridges burned, but it's going to be one person over here with no chance of getting back a friendship. So I'm like, I do believe that she thinks that maybe this is a way that we can mend these fences, and build back a friendship. But it ain't gonna work. These women are gonna hold on to it. Okay. This was just Heather's, maybe she won't admit this, but this was Heather's way of like giving everyone material just for future seasons, And I don't understand how none of the women said no to this. Like, everybody was like, okay. I mean, they probably said yes to it because they had to, because production was probably like, listen, we need some drama here and we need to amp this up. So, okay, Mary goes first. Mary wrote something about Heather. She gave it to Heather. So what she wrote was, and some of these are not going to be word for word, but the gist. She said that I never felt accepted by her. She changed when she became successful and threw it in our faces. It made her mean. She forgot the people who got her there, like me, who is proud of her and always will be. Now, word. I put word. She did change. Heather used to be, in the first season, Heather was my favorite. But then, as she became a fan favorite, she changed. Heather says that the new Heather is more authentically herself. And I thought it was it was surprising to me that Mary had said that she said such a nice thing about her and saying that she's proud of her and she always will be. I like that. And they talked it out. And they burned that bridge and they're fine and they're good. So that went great. It's off to a good start. So next it's Brittany to Mary. And they play this sinister music and we're like, oh, shit, what's she gonna say? What she said was, I want to invite Bronwyn over for tea instead of Mary. Everybody's like, is there anything else? She's like, oh. So that's the meanest thing she ever said. I mean, unless Mary was like, yeah, I agree. I mean, like, yeah, you should invite Bronwyn over for tea other than me, instead of me. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that right there, if that truly is correct, then I don't know that Brittany really isn't she's just not a mean person. Either that is the meanest thing that she ever said. If that's the case, then she's not a mean person. But how do we know that these are the meanest things they've ever said? So, okay. Next it was Bronwyn to Brittany. She said she is an emotionally manipulative. She parentifies her children. She trauma bonds in relationships and is doing it to us. It's below her intelligence level, age, and maturity level. And it makes me feel nervous, furious, and embarrassed for her. Listen, if Bronwyn says something shitty about you, Bronwyn's going to make it the most educated sounding burn. Like, of ever. Brittany was like, that is tough. That is real rough. And Bronwyn was like, I know, I'm sorry, and I would like to get to know you better. And I mean, Brittany didn't say no. So we'll see. Next, this is where it got rough. Angie to Bronwyn. This was a text she sent to Heather. She seems nice. I like her business plan of marrying someone who has one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. But I like mine better. I'd rather be self-made. She's nice, but doesn't listen because her ears are stitched down to her face so tight she can't hear anything. She wears a hot dog costume to remind us that she sucked her way to the top. Oh my gosh. And oh man. And when Bronwyn was reading that, you could tell that she was really hurt. And Angie said she sent it at a time when she was very angry. And she apologized. She was like, it's fine. It's what you were thinking at the time. I don't know if they can move past that. To be honest with you, if somebody said that about me, I wouldn't be able to move past it with them. I wouldn't. So I don't know. We'll see. And then Heather to Whitney. Heather said something about Whitney, and this was a text that she sent to maybe Meredith. She said, this was really tough. Said she is a lowlife, thirsty piece of shit. She sold her soul for fame and recognition. She's a snake, and I should have never trusted her. Heather says she doesn't mean it. She wrote it in anger. And Whitney forgives her, and we can tell Whitney is very upset. But Whitney forgives her. They burn the bridge. They do their special, handshake, and everything is good. Okay, now here's where it really goes south. So Whitney's like, I have something that I wrote about Lisa. So she wrote this text. She sent this text to Angie. This is about a rumor that she heard, and she just wants to clear the air and say she's sorry. I don't know why she would say she's sorry, but so she says that she was at a party with Justin. A woman approached them and said that if they ever wanted to bring in a third person into their marriage, for like swinging, then she's up for it. Lisa and John Barlow can vouch for her because she made out with Lisa while John spanked something in the corner, right? This sends Lisa. Now, listen, I don't know. I was like, did Whitney understand the assignment? Because this was like, or did she just want to get this rumor out there so it could like wind Lisa up? I was like, I don't know about this. So Lisa is upset. I can't even remember how Angie got brought into it. But the main thing, listen, Lisa's all hypocritical because she's pissed that this is disgusting. You're bringing my family into this. You're gross and you're disgusting and you're vile. But then she goes out there and says, and what about Sean? Listen, I'm not going to say what it is. Sean doing something in a circle. And listen, I'm going to tell you, at that point, I was like, you get her. It looked like Angie was getting ready to black out and then knock her upside her head. Would I have been okay with that? Sure would have. Because Angie didn't say nothing to you. And it's okay. God forbid, like Bronwyn said, John Barlow's a great guy, but don't nobody talk about John Barlow. Don't you dare bring up John Barlow. But she can bring up Sean. And then she comes out and says, no, but I'm the only person that people talk about their marriage. Really? Because all last season, y'all were spreading the rumor that Sean is out there dipping out of his marriage with men. Okay? I mean, everybody's marriage has been talked about. You were talking about Bronwyn's marriage this season. In the past, people had talked about Meredith's. Lisa herself in a hot take, in a hot mic moment, talked about Meredith's marriage. So everybody, you can talk about everybody else's marriage, and other people can talk about other people's marriages, but yours is sacred ground and can't be touched. Girl, no, listen. And so Angie gets up, throws part of a flower at her, and then Lisa's all pissed off. She don't like it whenever somebody says something about her marriage, but it's okay for her to say something about Angie's marriage. And then gets up, storms off, take my mic off, I'm out of here. Because, right. And then after that, Meredith gets up and storms out saying, I'm finished. I hope she is finished. Listen, Meredith Marks, as much as I used to love her in past, she didn't bring anything to this season. She brought barely nothing to this season. Okay? Whitney didn't, but at least there were moments when you were like, okay, Whitney, okay, that's a good point. I didn't see any of that with Meredith. So if she wants to leave, that's okay. And Meredith gets up and walks away. But listen, who's the only one who didn't have anything said about her? That was Meredith. Meredith got up because she didn't have to share anything, and she didn't have to hear anything shared about her. Girl, like Bronwyn, listen. And Bronwyn was like, I am done. I'm done trying to be friends with Lisa. She's hypocritical as hell because no one can talk about John, but she can sure enough bring up Angie's husband. Girl. Okay. So listen, next week is part 1 of the 3-part finale. And first chairs are going to Angie and Lisa, which, okay, this should be good. This should be really good. So, all right, in the comments, let me know what you thought. And if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Also, be aware of your surroundings, be smart and safe, hydrate often with water like I should be doing. And also, if you're in a dangerous situation, especially if you're out there in California, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and all the positive energy and vibes that you need to make it through. I love you guys. There will not be a motivational morning tomorrow because I'm going to sleep in. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.